I don't think hard shots are the best way to harvest an animal. Hey folks, Adrian here, welcome to Wild Bush and Grit. I was thinking in my mind and it's like, how can I communicate this? I'm probably gonna, stir up some good conversation. I'm sure a lot of people would disagree with me, but let's hear it. We're here to improve, and that's my experience and my friend's experience as well. We've tracked lots of deer, and on my personal stories on deer hunting, hard shots were always the hardest deer to track. And so, to put things in context, okay, I'm in Quebec, where we're hunting the thick woods, thick forest, not in cornfield, where when you shoot a deer and it runs 100 yards, you can see it fall. Usually what happens, you shoot a deer through the heart, start running, you see the reaction, this is great, you got him, hunched back, fine. And then you hear it, and then you hear it going and going and going, and you hear branch cracking, and so it's dead, but you wait your, 20 minutes, half hour, and then you start tracking. At the spot where you hit it, you might find a little bit of hair, a little bit of, fat or piss, but that's it. That's the only thing you will find at the placement. And by the way, I've used 4570, I use 6.5 Creedmoor, I use 762 by 39, and this is the same story every time. So at the spot, not much blood, a little bit of chunk of pieces and hide and skin and fat. Then you saw the deer going in one direction, so you're looking on the ground, no blood. The way I will track the deer in the very first yard is when I see leaves turned up or fresh ground, or I see, okay, so the hooves dig in this area or this area. And usually I will look at the path and trying to see what would be the path of least resistance for the deer as it run away, and I will try in one way. I will try to look. When I don't find anything, I'll track back to where I was and then try to see what's the second, path of least resistance, and then go into this area and the next. And I will do that until I find some blood. It would take approximately 20-30 yards before I start seeing blood. And by blood, it's not a lot. It's just like little tiny speckles of blood on leaves on the ground. And the more it goes, yes, it will increase, but not by a lot. And eventually, most of the time, the deer will be fine between, I would say, 50 to 75 yards. Might not seem a lot, but when you shot your deer in the dark, as the sun is coming down in the thick, it's hell. It's hell to find. Makes no mistake, this is really tough. So going back, why hard shots are seems to be the quintessential of shots while you hunt. I don't know. I think of course it's a sure kill when the heart stops. But the thing is, the deer has a lot of will to live and will run quite some time before actually being affected by that shot. I think if I am to explain why heart shot doesn't bleed or doesn't give you a good track, is by shooting the heart, you just stopped it, and there's nothing to create pressure, nothing to spew nothing to project the blood out. So yes, the cavity will fill up. Without pressure, the blood has no place to go. It just stays where it is, and it will start dripping out of the wound at some point. Double lung shots, slightly higher than the heart, are far better, especially toward the front of the animal, because this is where you got all the arteries coming to the heart, and your bullet here might disrupt a little bit more than just the lungs, cutting off some arteries. And this is where the heart is still pumping, and you have blood going everywhere in all directions, filling up the lungs. The animal is breathing, spewing out blood from its mouth. And I know it sounds gross, I'm sorry. And this is, in my opinion, what gives off a good blood trail. That being said, that's not even my favorite place to shoot, higher. I prefer high shoulder. All the deer And I mean, all the deer that I shot, high shoulder area, dropped instantly. No tracking. They were dead before hitting the floor.